Let's talk about self-fulfilling prophecies and how they will ruin the results of things. I know these all too well. I do. Your self-fulfilling prophecies are the beliefs that you have about something in your life. Most likely it is stemming from your past experiences. I'm trying to keep my voice down, and right now in my head I sound like I am in the water in this ear. There's something going on, and I'm trying to keep my voice at a certain decibel, because obviously I'm outside and there's people downstairs that are grilling on the communal area. So if you think that you're going to have a certain result, you are. Okay? Whatever you think is going to be the result, especially if your consciousness is not outside the box. Okay? Because the matrix is going to create for you based on your thoughts, based on your frequency, based on your thoughts, and give it to you. Your thoughts represent your frequency, okay? So, if you think that, let's say, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm hoping to find a pair of earrings, right? And then on the way to the store, I start telling myself, I'm not going to find the earrings that I'm looking for. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm not going to find them. And I just know it. I just know I'm not going to be successful at this. I'm going to get there, and I can never find what I want, right? You're thinking that. You're not outside the box, and the matrix is picking up on that. It knows you want to create something, so you're creating in that moment, and you're giving yourself the result. So you are therefore creating the failure. You are setting yourself up for failure. Sometimes this thinking is automatic. Again, based on our past experiences. The just side note here, which has nothing to do with anything, but the clouds are so surreal this evening that I'm looking at, and they literally are like right there. I could, throw something at them. That's how, and they just look amazing. Like they're far, but they don't look far, because when you start thinking about like the dimension, like distance and dimension and stuff like that, it's like right there. They're just unbelievably beautiful and billowy and surreal. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You are thereby sealing the fate of your creation. So, you want to think in a way that is conducive to the thing that you desire, because you tell yourself that it never works out for me, or this has happened in the past. Yes, it did happen in the past. It doesn't mean it has to happen in the future. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you will absolutely have success with things. You'll have success getting the things you want once you trust. You have to trust. You have to trust that the matrix is conspiring for you. The matrix has your back. Do you get me? So let it have your back. Start letting it have your back. Okay? I told you in previous video that when I moved out, I just leapfrogged. I took those leaps of faith. I took the first step on the path, didn't know what the next step was, what the next step was going to bring, or anything like that. I just took the leap of faith, knowing that it was all going to work out. Because, okay, while not everything in my past worked out the way that I wanted, I did always acknowledge when I got the things that I really wanted. And I don't necessarily mean tangible things. What I mean, oh, finally my ear cleared up. That was so weird. What I mean is, if there was something that I wanted to happen badly enough, it happened. Okay? So I know deep down, I can see past instances in my life where I had proof. I had proof of manifestation, where things happened for me the way I needed them to. So you have to, sometimes maybe you have to go back. You don't want to go into your past, but you maybe want to go into, like, see if you can figure out a time when something worked out for you that just kind of like went smoothly. You have to give yourself you got to learn how to have faith, and you got to learn how to have trust. Those go hand in hand, okay? You have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. And telling yourself, okay, so we from Judy's initial videos, she has called us source players. But does your subconscious really know what a source player is? You might, I'm not saying you need to, but you might need to use different words to help yourself accept who you are. Okay? You are somebody with all the power in the universe. That's what you are. You are somebody with all of the power within the universe, at your fingertips, literally. So, everything I just said there is absolutely true. We are all one. We're just fractals of the one source. Okay? So you are all of the power of the universe. And you possess all of the power of the universe. All of the power in the universe. So maybe think of it in those terms, in that phrasing, to help you really accept what you are. Accept what you are. It's very easy to just continue to consider ourselves as these walking meat suits. That, yeah, I'm Nicole, and I have a full-time job, and I take care of dogs. I'm a house sitter, and I'm this, and I'm that. No, you're telling yourself that, but that's not what you are. You're not this person who self-sabotages all the time. No, that's a program. I'm not this person who is just, aggressive and, whatever. That's something I tell myself. It's a program. So I tell myself that that's me, that's my personality, because that's, all I've known. But it's not you. You've just been convinced to think it is. Okay? You've just been convinced to think that that is you. It is not. It is not. You are not your choices. Your experience is your choices, or your choices are your experience, but you are not your choices. Okay? And the overthinking, okay? If this is going into that. Overthinking things, not trusting yourself. You're overthinking because you're not trusting yourself. Okay? So you need to trust yourself. And see, this is how I was explaining myself. I have impulses. I might think about something for a few days, right? But like, for example, okay, I want to move more. I don't necessarily want to join the gym right now because there is this whole aspect of me being tied to an exercise machine for a certain amount of time that makes me want to, like, no, I don't want to do this. Okay, so but I figured if I get into more recreational activities, more things that I was drawn to, it would be different. So I said, I can get a bike. I can get a bike, and I made it happen. That was it. I want a bike. I made it happen. That was it. I didn't start it because here's the thing. Here's where I go into analysis paralysis. It is the paralysis of choice. Okay? If you are presented with too many choices, and especially like if you're ordering your bike from Amazon, or if you're going to a bike store and there's 50 bikes in the bike store and there's thousands of bikes on Amazon, how do you choose, right? Are you going to sit there and you're going to compare all of these different bikes before you finally figure out the right one? All I know is that I wanted a tricycle, I wanted one that was cute, I wanted one that's going to hold my weight, all these things. Those were my checklists. So I found one that had good ratings, I bought it. That's it. Okay? I wanted to move from one storage unit to the other, I did it. That's it. If somebody called me and say, hey, you know what, you want to go here? I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing anything, let's go. I do it. That's it. That's how I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. Maybe I'm more of that free spirit bohemian thing because I do that. I just like, okay, don't get me wrong. There are times when I think about what I'm going to do. I think about the choice that I need to make before I make it. But in many cases, I'm just like, yeah, that's a good choice. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do it. I decided I'm going to sell a lot of my furniture. I'm doing it. Now, did my source self tell me, should I sell all of my belongings? My source did not tell me I should sell all of my belongings, but my source is telling me that I should sell some things, get rid of some of my possessions, because I have quite a bit of them for one person and I need to unload. And even all of this, if you saw all the stuff that I schlep in my car every time I go to a different location, you'd be like, she's crazy. And you'd be right, okay? And I'm at a point now where it's like, I want to be free of that stuff. I'm trying to figure out how do I pare it down, because I had it at a certain level, now it's gotten to this, and now I need to bring it back down to this. But I digress. But even still, like all of that stuff, when it's all said and done, when I have a permanent place and I don't have to move a lot of stuff around and I figure things out, there's stuff that's going to be sold. Like I bought a big rolling tool chest. Like, you know, you go to Home Depot and they got all these different ones that you can configure together and stack all different kinds of toolboxes onto each other, and then you have like one big dolly that it's connected to. I bought one of those things for the stuff that I carry. Like, but I'm going to resell that, and that's a dude thing, so I know I'm going to get a good resale value on that. You know, like I'm not stupid when I do stuff like that. Like when I purchase hand tools, all I'm saying is that, you know, if you keep telling yourself that you self-sabotage, you're going to continue to self-sabotage, because that's a belief that you hold about yourself, but it's not a true belief. It's just a belief that you've convinced yourself is true. It's just a thought that you have convinced yourself is true. You have to deprogram yourself. Okay? So, yeah. And then, like I said in my last video, no matter where you go, there you are. No matter where you go, there you are. And the last thing I'm going to say, because this was something I experienced tonight that just was like, sometimes if I get something that like fries my brain, it literally hurts my head. And that I had an experience like that tonight. It was just a brief exchange, but it was enough to just short circuit my brain. And I'm sitting here, that's why I'm talking low, aside from the fact that there's people like four stories down, or four floors down. But yeah. And when I further analyze it, because the kind of person that I was dealing with, that I was communicating with, is very neurotic, and then I realized a lot of people that I deal with are very neurotic. But then, you know, like, I have to sit there and this is what I do. I examine this. Why am I continuing to find people that cut me off or impose on my personal space? It's all me. It's all me. Why do I have people that I constantly have to deal with that are neurotic or wackadoos? It's all me. It's all me. Okay? It's all the programming inside of me that I'm dealing with NPCs that are these kind of NPCs. So it's such a game. It's such a game, man, oh man. So I hope something hits home for you and you stop overthinking your choices. Okay? Unless it is a life-changing choice, like, should I move from one town or one country to another, then, you know, ask yourself again and again and again and again, make sure it's right. But when it comes down to, should I do this or that, you're making this too complicated for yourself. Okay? All right. Be well. Talk to you soon.